Ooh, that looks tasty.
Fight for the silver shields. We face danger head on, nobly and bravely. Yes, come fight for the murder of crows. Our methods may not be noble, but they are effective. Me Crom, you come fight with Crom.
Welcome, folks. Today the Hungry Gamer is back with another game review, and today we are talking about Kingswood, designed by Henry Audubon, with art by Tristram Rawson, and published by 25th Century Games. Now, before I go any further, please make sure you turn on your Klingon subtitles, because if I make any mistakes in the rules, that's where you'll find the corrections. Now, if you are not interested in how this game is played and just want to jump ahead to my final thoughts, then you want to go to the timestamp on the screen right now. For those of us still here, let's talk about what you are seeing before you. So first of all, we have the game set up for two, as we have two different factions set up there. And those two factions correlate with the Silver Shields and the Treetop Order. And you'll see down here at the bottom, it tells you what each of these factions start with, what resources. So both of them are going to start with 3 gold and a sword, and the shields have courage, while the Treetop has a spell book. And then you'll also see each one has their own individualized player power. And no matter how many players you're playing, everyone will have a different set of starting resources and a different power. In addition to that, you'll see that there are 6 locations set up around the scoreboard in the middle. And 5 of these you will always have out, and that would be this one, this one, this one, this one, and the forest. While the last one will be a special tile that will be different every game that you play, and there are, I believe, 7 of those different tiles that you can choose from. And on each tile, it tells you exactly what the space does. For example, up here, you spend a coin, you either refresh all of your spell books, which means if you have used a spell book, you flip it over to the gray side, so you can refresh all of your spell books, or spend a coin and you get a new spell book. Over here, it's the same thing, but with swords. Over here, it's the same thing, but with courage. The market will get you 3 coins. The forest is where you fight things, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. And this particular one that I pulled out is 1 coin, and you can refresh 1 sword, 1 spellbook, and 1 courage. Now, every round there will be 3 monsters laid out underneath the forest. I'm going to put them here in the middle so it's easier for us to see. And what you'll see is you obviously have your art, you have the name of them, and then here you have what does it take to defeat them. So in order to defeat that sun sprite, you would have to exhaust one of your spellbooks and then spend a coin. The spellbook, obviously, you can get back by refreshing it. The coin is just gone. Then down at the bottom, you see what the reward is. In the case of this sprite, you get to refresh a courage that's been spent, and you get 1 fame. Over here, you get 2 fame, 2 fame here, and you'll notice that they also have additional abilities at the end of the game. And as you play through, you will eventually get down into the harder monsters. And these are your Chapter 2 monsters, and they are just harder to kill and are more valuable, and you can just kind of take a look at a couple of those right there. And those will be in the forest. As I said, you will always have 3 of them out in the forest unless you are playing solo, in which case what happens is every turn a new one comes out, and if you ever end your turn with 4 or more monsters out, then you have lost the game, and you win the game when you have defeated 2 out of the following 3: a genie, a dragon, and a giant. But that's all I'm going to say about how the solo mode works. Now let's quickly talk about how the gameplay actually works. Gameplay is extremely simple. What's going to happen is on your turn, I'm just going to put these out wherever, is on your turn, you will pick one of these 3 adventurers that are out there. And first you have the option to take the action of the space that they're on. So if I wanted to start right here with this adventurer, I could spend a coin and get myself another courage. Then I can move my adventurer 1 space and take the whatever action is on the next tile. Now you can never move to a tile that has someone there already, but you can skip over them for 1 coin per space. So I could start here, and then I could actually spend 2 coins, if I had it, to skip 1, skip 2, and go to here, and then get 3 coins there. Or if I was starting here, I could get 3 coins here to start, then move to here, and then fight monsters. You get the idea. Now, whatever the first location you started at, you will then put the King's Guard down. And the King's Guard means that location is blocked off. So if I started my turn here, I chose this guy, and I took that action and then moved to here, the King's Guard would move to here, and it simply blocks you from going there. You always have the option to do a collect action, which is you clear away the King's Guard, and then you just take 2 coins, and you can always do that if the King's Guard is out there. And that's it. That's how the game works. You're simply going to be moving around the rondel using the same explorers between you and however many opponents that you're playing, moving the King's Guard around until eventually somebody will get 20 fame. Once someone hits 20, they flip their little thing over, and they can keep going. They might score a few more points. They might have gone over. They might have scoring bonuses at the end of the game. Then everyone gets to do a final turn, so equal turns have been taken, and then whoever has the most fame is the most important guild in the Kingswood, and you are the winner. So what do I like about this game? First of all, I like the way the game looks. I like the artwork. I like the bright colors. I like that it's a little bit cartoony. It's not too serious. It's not too heavy, which I think matches perfectly with this game and the light mechanics and the quick play and the simpleness of the play. Like as we look at some of these here, it's just they're very whimsical. It's a very whimsical art style that you have here. And like look at the tavern here. It looks like kind of kegs turned on the side. It's whimsical. It's fun. You look at some of the monsters here, and again, they just are kind of mostly friendly and fun looking. Even the goblins with their little stabby daggers there. You know, you got your ghost, though. I mean, some of them are a little more vicious, like that wraith. But again, it's light, it's fun, it's whimsical, and I like the way it looks. I like these meeples here with their screen printing. It really is a good looking game on the table, and really did a good job of setting the stage for how this game is going to play. And what I mean by how the game is going to play, I just mean the mechanics of the game, which again, I like. Now, I have actually not played many, if any, rondel games before, and I can see why people like it. Now, this is very, very, very light and simple, but it is a fun mechanic, this moving around back and forth, and then knowing that by moving certain places, you're blocking things off and managing to deal with the King's Guard and all that, and it just works really well. To me, I'm guessing this is about as streamlined as you can get a rondel mechanic and still have it be interesting and fun, and I just enjoy it. I happen to enjoy worker placement games, and again, this is a super light worker placement style game where there's a few resources, you have them, but more than those resources, I like that some of the resources, like your coins, they go away, but others you just use them, and then so you're not only collecting resources, but in a way, you're leveling your guild up, because the more of these that you have, the more monsters you're able to take out. So you can go into that forest and maybe you wipe out the whole forest. You take out all 3 and get a huge turn because you have leveled yourself up by spending your coins wisely. And I think, again, that really makes this feel more thematic than just a worker placement rondel Euro game. And again, I really like that. I like the way that this has been done. And then I will also say I enjoy the solo mode. I have yet to beat the solo mode. It is a good challenge. And for me, a solo mode should be a real challenge. And this one is. And to go along with it, it doesn't really change the way the game is played, with the exception of how the monsters come out. And I think that is awesome. There are almost no changes between the solo game and the regular game, so anyone can just throw it out and try it. And along with that, it is a fast game. Once you know how to play, you're playing this game in 30 minutes. Solo games, I finish in maybe 10, 15 minutes. It's quick, it's relatively compact, it doesn't take up a ton of space, not a lot of materials that you have to manage out there, like all of that. So what are my quibbles with the game? Now, I have said before that I am a big fan of Tristram Rawson's art, and I am. I just kind of wish that it, well, was bigger, which is a weird thing to say. So we have this ghost here, which I really like this ghost. It literally looks to me like the ghost is saying, "Woo," which again is very funny, but it's just, they're so small, and I just wish that I got to see more of the art. So that's about as minor as a quibble can be, but there it is. And then the only other thing that I will say is just a warning that I often give. Just be aware, this is a light, streamlined game. This is not a deep, heavy game by any stretch of the imagination. This is one of the fastest games to learn I've ever gotten. I taught my wife to play in record time because it is extremely streamlined and extremely simple. So if you're looking for something heavy, this is not it. But that's it. Those are my only quibbles. I think if you like a Euro style game, you like worker placement style games, and you are interested in the whole rondel action and the sharing of the same workers, then this is a game that is really worth checking out, especially if you're looking for a Euro style game that feels a bit more thematic, because that's often the knock on Euro games is, well, you're just moving cubes around. Well, this one, because of the way you kind of level yourself up and the little set collection that you're doing, you are kind of telling the story of your guild through kind of hiring these different adventurers as you play. And I just think that it is really well done. This is a very quick, light, fun Euro game that, if that is your jam, or you're just looking for a Euro style game to play with your kids or play with your family, or one that you can just play really quickly when you're out in a cafe or something, if we're ever allowed to go to cafes again, this is a good option. So there you have it, folks. That is Kingswood from 25th Century Games. As always, if I made any mistakes in the rules, let me know with a timestamp. I'll get that into Klingon subtitles. As always, if this video was useful, please like, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.